So today I want to talk about how you can build connected data lists. So this is the idea where I've got two input elements in my form and there's a connection between them. So I have to fill out one before I get the values for the other. Now right now it is a text input, as we can see here from the code. My placeholder says select country, so I'm telling the person to come down and put something here first, but I'm not preventing them from just typing something. So the person could come in here and say, okay, this is what I want to type. I'm not preventing them from doing that. What I am doing is I'm saying, okay, if you come here first and you pick a country from this list, you can type in a name like this. It's going to then populate a connected data list for this element. So that's what we're going to do. Now, coming inside of here, we've got our input type equals text. And down below that, I have a series of data lists. The first one, this is my list of countries. So these are just abbreviated lists of data. These could have been fetched from someplace. They could be hard-coded in the HTML. It doesn't really matter how the data gets inside of here. It's just the fact that I do have these four short lists. One's the list of countries. We're going to use this one to populate this one. And then the other ones, what we're going to do is we're going to connect the value that is selected here with one of these lists. So you see Canada has a matching value here, Mexico has a matching value, USA has a matching value as well. So that's how we're going to create the connection between the two elements. To connect this first list, countries, with this element, all we have to do is add the attribute inside of here, list, and then we give the ID of the data list that we want. So countries. All right, now that I've done that, that's the only thing I've changed is I've added this one attribute. Now when I come over here, when I select this, I automatically get this list. So I can either type it. So if it was a long list and I were putting in part of the name of the country, we could do that. It'll do sort of an autocomplete type thing. Or when I come in here, I can use my arrow keys. I can use my mouse, my arrow keys, whatever I want, hit enter. Now I've selected this. So now what I want to do is whenever this happens, whenever the person has typed something or as they are typing, I want to find a matching data list somewhere on the page. And this is where our JavaScript comes in to connect the two things. Right now, I don't have a value for list here. I could hard code this in. I could say, list is Mexico. And now it is always going to be, regardless of what I select here, this is always going to be the list for this abbreviated list of Mexican states. I don't want to do that. I want to only add this or set the value for the list when the person has something that matches. So if you've typed something here that matches an ID, that's when I'm going to create the connection. So let's jump into the JavaScript to do that. Don't need to save my web page. I'm going to come over here, save my HTML, jump into here. And what I've got just for the startup, when the content is loaded, so when the HTML is loaded, I'm going to find country, and that is this input element right here. So I need to listen for, as the person is typing, I'm going to call this function. And right here, we'll say country, add event listener. And the event that I'm listening for is input. I'm going to get the input event firing every time the person types something. It's also going to happen if they select something from the drop-down list. So either way, I'm going to get a value. And then I'm going to call this function down here, the event down here. This is going to be EV target. That is the element that we're talking about. This EV target is going to be this country thing. I want to get the value. Let's see what the person is typing as they type or as they select. So inside of here, if I type C, there's the value, A, and A. And you can see that as I type, I'm slowly getting the whole thing. If I select something, there it is. I get the full thing. Okay, so that's working. I can get the value. So now I need to find a match. We're going to take whatever they've typed, convert it to lowercase. There we have it. And I want to make sure that there is something actually typed. Maybe they were deleting the value. If there's nothing there, I don't need to do anything more. So we'll just add a little shortcut to exit the function. We'll say document get element by ID, and country name is the value. So if it's blank or if it doesn't match, if that does not exist, whatever this value is, if there's nothing on my page with a matching ID, exit the function. I don't need to do anything more. So if the person, let's save this, if the person came in here and said rutabaga or something else, I don't have anything on the page with that ID. There's no data list, there's no form element, so there's no point in my function doing anything else. I'm just going to say exit the function, we're done with this. All right, now what I'm going to do is I will get my input element right here. This is the one that's called state. And that's the one that is going to need to be connected to one of these inputs, one of these data lists. So the input source of my data is one of these lists. Once I found one that matches, then this is going to be the value of the list attribute. So we'll say state.setAttribute, and list is the name of the attribute. Just like we did with the country, we added that list attribute. We're going to do the same thing here, and whatever they typed, which matched an ID, that's the one that we want. Now, we're only checking to make sure the thing exists on the page. If this were a production site, I would probably also do some other checks to make sure that, hey, what type of thing is the matching ID? Is it a data list? So we would come in here and say, you know, this thing dot tag name. I want to make sure that that is data list. You know, something along the lines of that. We want to make sure that we are finding a data list element. Okay, so I have now created this attribute. I've set its value to this on the state, so that by itself should be enough that if I select this, now there's the Canadian provinces. If I change this and we say Mexico, up inside of here, these are the Mexican ones. We'll delete that, come back in, select USA, and there they are. So we are getting the correct ones. Now, I would want to make this a little bit more user-friendly in addition. So if I've typed something right here, or I've selected something, and it does match a data list, I've got the thing selected, I've added the attribute. What I want to do at this moment is jump up here. I'm going to put focus on this element. So the cursor is now going to be up here, and I'm going to set the value to an empty string, which will delete anything that was previously typed. That way, when you switch the country, it'll clear out the old value. And this is quite easy to do. Just call the focus method, which is available on any form element, and we'll set the property value to an empty string. There we go. All right. Let's test this out. So when I select Canada, it automatically, you can see at the top there, the cursor is blinking. The caret is blinking inside of here. And there we have the Canadian provinces. We delete that, start again, and we select Mexico. It automatically jumped up here, and there it is. So let's try one last time. Without using my mouse, I'm just going to use my keyboard, USA, I select that, and now it's automatically up at the top, and I start to type V, yep, that matched the Vermont, Alaska, California, there we go. So this is working. So now we have two data lists which are connected to input elements on our page, and as we're selecting the values in one, it's updating the connected data list in the second one. So I hope that helps you out. Maybe you've got a problem that you're working on. This will help you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments. I answer as many as I have time for. And as always, thanks for watching.